Welcome to our deep dive exploring the world of olive oil. You're interested in learning more about its authenticity, right?
Yeah, we'll definitely get into how to spot the real deal.
Okay, perfect. I was thinking we could unpack some of the facts and those practical tips from your source material.
Sound good?
Okay, cool. So to kick things off, did you know that there's actually a simple fridge test that can help determine if olive oil is truly authentic?
Oh, yeah. It's a fascinating test. It really speaks to the unique properties of real olive oil, especially the kind that comes from the Mediterranean basin.
Oh, interesting. What's special about that region?
Well, it's basically a haven for olive trees,
Oh, okay.
which impacts the quality of the oil directly.
So location plays a crucial role. It almost sounds like that terroir concept in winemaking, where the environment influences the final product.
Exactly. Terroir is all about how climate, soil, and even local traditions affect the flavor and quality of a crop.
Hmm, interesting.
And just like with wine, the Mediterranean's unique terroir contributes to the exceptional quality of its olive oil. But it's not just about the oil.
Well,
Olives themselves are very versatile.
oh, okay.
They're used to make those tasty pickled treats, too.
Yeah, that's right. I have seen some interesting olives at the store lately. Some are huge and green, and others are small and black. What's the story there?
Well, those colors and sizes are just a testament to the huge diversity of olive varieties in the Mediterranean.
Okay, interesting.
Green olives are harvested earlier in the season, while black ones ripen longer on the tree.
Mm.
Both types can be used for oil and pickling, but some are better suited for one or the other.
Okay, so we have this incredible region producing top-notch olives. But let's get back to the oil. I've seen labels like extra virgin and virgin, but I've always been a bit confused about what those terms mean.
Yeah, it's a common question.
Yeah.
It all comes down to the pressing methods and
Yeah.
how much the olives are processed. First, you have extra virgin olive oil. That's the gold standard. It's cold pressed, so no heat is used during extraction, which helps preserve all those valuable nutrients and that delicate flavor.
Ah, so that explains why extra virgin olive oil often has a more vibrant, kind of fresh taste. So if I'm looking for the highest quality, extra virgin is the way to go.
Absolutely. Then you have virgin olive oil. It's pressed at a slightly higher temperature.
Okay.
It's still good quality, but might not have the same intensity of flavor or nutritional profile as extra virgin.
Interesting. And what about those other olive oils that aren't labeled as virgin or extra
Otter.
virgin?
Those are usually lower grade oils that are made from the leftover pulp after the first pressings.
Oh, okay.
They might go through refining processes involving heat and chemicals, which can affect both the flavor and the nutritional value.
That makes sense. Now, how can I be sure I'm buying authentic olive oil? My source material mentions something about a fridge test.
Oh, yeah. That's a simple but effective method. It's based on the fact that real olive oil, especially extra virgin, has a higher percentage of monounsaturated fats, which solidify at cooler temperatures.
So how does it work?
Well, it's super easy. You just pour a little olive oil into a glass and put it in the fridge for about 2 hours.
Okay.
If it solidifies and turns white, that's a good sign it's authentic.
Hmm.
If it stays liquid or only slightly thickens, it might be adulterated or blended with other oils.
Wow, that's so simple. I'm going to try that when I get home. But are there other signs to look for when buying olive oil?
Absolutely. For
Hmm.
starters, look at the color. Genuine olive oil is usually greenish when fresh, but it turns golden yellow as it ages.
So a little color variation is normal.
Totally. It's part of the aging process.
Okay.
But if the color seems really off or dark, it might be a red flag.
Got it. What else?
The aroma is also important. Real olive oil should have a strong, fruity aroma, like olives, sometimes even hints of grass or pepper.
Okay, so it should smell like, well, olives. Makes sense.
What about the taste? The taste should have a balance of bitterness, pungency, and fruitiness, and that olive flavor should stay consistent over time.
So if the flavor changes a lot, it might not be as high quality.
Exactly. And lastly, look at the vis.
Wow, so choosing the right olive oil is an investment in our health.
Absolutely. And we're constantly finding new health benefits linked to olive oil.
That's amazing. I'm so glad we did this deep dive. I feel like I'm already learning so much.
Me too.
Yeah.
And we've only just scratched the surface of the fascinating world of olive oil.
I can't wait to hear more.
We'll dive into all that in the next part of our deep dive.
So we've been uncovering all these secrets of authentic olive oil
Uh,
and all those remarkable health benefits. But now I'm ready to put this knowledge into practice. What are some ways I can use high-quality olive oil every day, especially in the kitchen?
that's a perfect next step in our olive oil journey. Olive oil isn't just healthy, it's also a culinary delight.
True.
It's the backbone of Mediterranean cuisine and adds a depth of flavor to so many dishes.
You're right. I've always been fascinated by Mediterranean cuisine. It's just so vibrant and flavorful. Is there something special about how olive oil is used in that style of cooking?
One key thing is they use olive oil as the main cooking fat instead of relying on butter or other oils.
Okay.
This brings those health benefits we talked about right to the table and adds a distinct flavor too.
So, how can I start incorporating olive oil into my own cooking? Are there specific dishes or techniques where it really stands out?
Oh, olive oil is super versatile.
Hmm.
You can use it for pretty much anything. Sautéing vegetables, baking bread, drizzling it over finished dishes.
Hmm.
It's great for making your own salad dressings too.
Oh, yeah.
Just mix good quality extra virgin olive oil with lemon juice, salt, and pepper. It doesn't get any easier than that.
That sounds delicious and simple. Any other tips or tricks for using olive oil?
Let me think. Oh, one of your sources mentioned that not all olive oils are the same when it comes to cooking.
Oh, really?
Extra virgin olive oil, with its delicate flavor and lower smoke point, it's best for finishing dishes or cooking over low heat, like sautéing or baking at lower temperatures.
Right. I think I've heard that you shouldn't use extra virgin olive oil for frying.
Exactly. When it gets too hot, extra virgin olive oil can break down and lose some of its flavor and nutrients. For high heat cooking like frying or roasting, it's better to use refined olive oil or even those lower grade olive oils we discussed.
Okay, so save the good stuff for finishing touches and use other types for everyday cooking. Got it. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the cultural side of things. What about the traditions and rituals associated with olive oil?
Olive oil is deeply ingrained in Mediterranean culture. It's not just a food, it's a symbol of health, prosperity, longevity.
Wow.
For centuries, it's been used in religious ceremonies, traditional medicine, even as a beauty product.
Like liquid gold. I read that in ancient Greece, olive oil was so valuable it was used as currency.
You're exactly right. In ancient Greece, olive oil was incredibly important. They used it for everything. Anointing athletes, fueling lamps, even as payment.
That's amazing. It really highlights how important olive oil is to that region's history.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned it's been used in traditional medicine too.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of those uses? Are they still relevant today?
Ancient civilizations, especially in the Mediterranean, believed olive oil had powerful healing properties.
Hmm.
They used it on their skin to treat wounds, burns, and skin conditions. It's very soothing and moisturizing.
So they didn't just eat it, they used it externally too.
Exactly. They also knew about its internal benefits. Olive oil could soothe digestion, ease coughs, and act as a general tonic.
That's interesting. And now modern science is actually backing up a lot of those traditional uses.
It is. My source material mentions something called oleocanthal.
Right, oleocanthal, what is that exactly?
It's a powerful anti-inflammatory found in extra virgin olive oil. Studies have shown it's similar to ibuprofen in reducing inflammation.
Wow, that's incredible. So maybe those ancient civilizations were onto something with their belief in olive oil's healing powers.
Yeah, they really were. And on top of the anti-inflammatory effects, oleocanthal is being researched for its potential to protect against Alzheimer's and cancer.
It seems like every day there's new research coming out about olive oil. Any other interesting findings you can share?
Well, one exciting area is the role of olive oil in gut health. The polyphenols in olive oil can act like prebiotics, which nourish the good bacteria in our gut.
So in addition to everything else, olive oil can help support a healthy gut. It's a gift that keeps on giving. But before we wrap up, is there anything else essential to understanding the story of olive oil?
One thing I think is really important is the sustainability and ethical practices behind olive oil production.
Right, sustainability is so crucial. Especially with our food, how can we make sure we're choosing olive oils that align with those values?
That's a great question. There are a few things to look out for. Certifications like organic and fair trade are good indicators.
Okay.
They show that the olive oil has been produced sustainably and ethically.
What about other labels on the bottle?
Yes. You can also look for the Protected Designation of Origin, or PDO.
PDO, right?
It guarantees the oil is from a specific region and produced using traditional methods, which ensures quality and authenticity.
So PDO, along with the other tips for spotting authentic olive oil, plus supporting sustainable production, are all important factors to consider.
Absolutely. By making smart choices, we can enjoy olive oil and contribute to a more sustainable and fair food system.
This deep dive has been so enlightening. I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for olive oil. But before we finish, I have one last question. We've talked about all these benefits, but are there any downsides or concerns, especially for someone new to olive oil?
That's a good question. It's important to remember that olive oil is a fat. Like any fat, it should be consumed in moderation.
Right, so even though it's healthy, too much could be a bad thing.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance. Also, olive oil has a strong flavor that some might find a bit much at first.
So how should someone new to olive oil introduce it into their diet?
Just start small. Try drizzling a little over salads or veggies. You can use it in marinades or sauces too, where the flavor is less intense.
Okay, good advice.
And as you get used to it, you can gradually increase the amount and explore different olive oil varieties.
Those are great tips. It's all about finding what you like best.
Exactly. And like with any change to your diet, it's best to talk to your doctor or a dietitian for advice.
This has been such an amazing exploration of olive oil. But I have a feeling we're not done yet. There's still more to discover, right?
Definitely. We've only just scratched the surface. There are so many stories, culinary adventures, and even scientific discoveries yet to be made. Who knows what other secrets olive oil holds?
We've come a long way on our olive oil journey. From those ancient olive groves to modern kitchens, we've covered a lot. But I'm curious about what's next. What about the future of olive oil? Are there any trends or innovations out there?
Oh, absolutely. The world of olive oil is constantly evolving. One trend that's really taken off is single variety olive oils.
Single variety. I've seen those in stores, but what's the difference?
It's kind of like wine. Olive oil can be made from different varieties of olives, and each one has a unique flavor. Single variety oils are made with just one type of olive, so you really get to experience that specific flavor.
Oh, like a Cabernet Sauvignon or Chardonnay?
Exactly. Just like winemakers carefully select grapes for their wines, olive oil producers are doing the same with olives.
That makes sense. So what are some examples of those single variety oils, and what do they taste like?
Well, one that's really popular is the Picul olive. It's got a bold, peppery flavor, and it's really high in those healthy polyphenols.
Wow, interesting. Any others?
Another good one is the Arbequina. It's much smoother, almost buttery, with hints of almond and apple.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. It sounds like a whole new way to experience olive oil. Any other trends happening right now?
Another big one is sustainable and regenerative farming. Consumers are more aware of the impact their food has on the environment, so they're looking for eco-friendly options.
We talked about sustainability before, but what exactly are these regenerative farming practices?
Well, it's about going beyond just doing less harm. It's about actively making the land better, rebuilding soil, increasing biodiversity, even capturing carbon from the air. Things like cover cropping, composting, and reducing tillage are all part of it.
So it's a more holistic approach to olive farming. Are there any labels I can look for to find olive oils produced this way?
Some certifications, like organic and biodynamic, line up with regenerative principles. But there's no specific regenerative certification for olive oil yet. A lot of producers are pretty transparent about their practices, though.
So I might have to do a little research.
Yeah, check their websites or product labels for more info.
Got it. What about innovation? Any cool new technologies in the olive oil world?
Definitely. There are new extraction technologies that are all about improving oil quality and yield while being gentler on the environment.
Okay, interesting. Like what?
Well, some are using ultrasonic extraction. It uses sound waves to get the oil out, which can save water and energy.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So technology is changing how olive oil is made. What about how we use and experience it? Any trends there?
One that's really interesting is olive oil tasting. It's becoming more and more popular.
Like wine tastings.
Yeah, people are excited to try different olive oils, learn about their flavors, and find new ways to enjoy them.
Olive oil tasting bars. I have to check that out.
They're really fun. They have these curated selections of oils from all over the world. You get to savor the different flavors and aromas, and they often pair the oils with food, bread, cheese, even chocolate sometimes.
Sign me up. It sounds like the future of olive oil is bright. As we wrap up our deep dive, what are your final thoughts on this incredible ingredient?
You know, olive oil is more than just a cooking staple. It really shows the enduring power of nature and tradition, and innovation too. From its roots in the Mediterranean to modern science and cuisine, olive oil is something special. And as we learn more about its health benefits and how to produce it sustainably, it becomes even more valuable.
I love that. This deep dive has been eye-opening, to say the least. We learned how to find real olive oil, how to cook with it, all its amazing health benefits, and its cultural importance. I feel like a true olive oil connoisseur now.
Me too. And we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to learn about this liquid gold.
So true. Well, thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of olive oil. We hope you learned a lot and feel inspired to explore all it has to offer. And remember, that bottle of olive oil in your kitchen, it's more than just an ingredient. It's a story, a tradition, and a taste of history. Until next time, happy exploring.